Today I fucked up by not realizing that Zoom doesn't mirror your video on other people's screens. So today I found out that Zoom doesn't mirror your video in other people's view. I had my video settings set to mirror video and just assumed the mirrored view of myself would be what everyone else sees. Well, it's not. Here's where I messed up. I can get anxious during Zoom meetings, so I sometimes secretly hold a stuffed animal to help me feel better. On my screen, I always make sure to hide the stuffed animal behind the little box that says my name so that people can't tell that I'm holding a stuffed animal. Someone mentioned something about it to me at one of my Zoom meetings, so I just assumed that I had accidentally moved the stuffed animal into view. Since then, I have been extra careful with my positioning of the stuffed animal, making sure that it never moves from its hiding place behind my name box. I was bored during a long meeting today and decided to mess around with my video settings. I unchecked the box for the mirror video setting and realized that not only was my red panda builder bear visible, I had positioned myself so closely to the corner that I thought was hiding him that I had accidentally actually placed him in an awkwardly prominent place. I messaged my friend who was in the meeting like, WTF, everyone can see that I'm holding a stuffed animal right now? And they said yeah, I just thought it was really cute. So, it turns out that I, a 21-year-old dude, have been holding a stuffed animal in full view of everyone else in multiple Zoom meetings for weeks. FML. Too long didn't realize that Zoom flips your video on other people's screens, meaning that everybody has been able to see that I, 21M, hold stuffed animals during my Zoom meetings. That's really cute and I'm glad you have something like that to help you feel less anxious. I don't understand how mirror imaging your video could change the visibility of something. The name box on Zoom is always on the left corner of the screen, regardless of whether you have the mirror setting selected. Because I used the mirror setting, I thought I was hiding the stuffed animal in the left corner under the name, but it was showing up in everybody else's right corner, which is exposed. You gotta keep doing it now. It's a thing. This is wholesome. Your friend is cool. If it's really cringing you out, remind yourself that worst case scenario, it's a one-day wonder. I think this is actually very wholesome. I have mine in view when in Zoom lectures because I get anxious too sometimes. If that helps you at all, smile. Today I fucked up by making my school think I'm a flat earther and causing an anti-flat earth program to be put into the freshman science curriculum. This actually happened 2 years ago, but the change to the curriculum came into effect yesterday. 2 years ago, when I was a sophomore in high school, I was assigned a persuasive essay on whatever topic I chose that had to include cited research for my honors English class. I decided it would be fun if I wrote my essay on something I didn't believe to be true and decided on writing about how the earth was flat. As many, if not all of you know, there is no short supply of flat earth videos, so there was plenty of information to use. I ended up using the documentary Behind the Curve on Netflix as my main source for my research. When I had finally finished my essay and turned it, my teacher said to me in class, awesome_face, I had no idea that you were a flat earther. I giggled a little and quietly said, yeah, I'm not. But the one thing about my teacher is that she is half deaf from old age, so I don't think she heard me say the I'm not part. Fast forward to this year and my school has gotten rid of the earth science, intro to chemistry, and intro to physics classes, which were all 1 semester long, and combined them into a new, all-inclusive class called freshman science. I learned from both of my current science teachers and my younger brother, who is a freshman, that they are doing a small segment on why the earth is not flat. All of them shared how they have to watch the documentary Behind the Curve and write about how their experiments and results are wrong. This might all seem like a big coincidence to you right now, but yesterday my younger brother is talking about it to me and just drops, "It's your fault, we have to do this." Ms. Science teacher told all of us at the beginning of class because kids were complaining they had to watch it. She says it's because you wrote that essay for English and caused her and the school school to think you are flat earther. That's when I remembered that she was on the school committee that determined what would be taught in classes. So yeah, my funny essay is the cause of an addition of a new segment of a science class. Too long didn't read. I wrote a joke essay sophomore year of high school on why the earth was flat for an English class and caused my school to implement a section on why the earth is round into the basic, mandatory science curriculum. Edit: I want to clarify that I do not think the earth is flat. Unless I am reading things wrong, it seems as though a few people have the idea that I believe the earth is flat, and I want to clarify that I believe the earth is a globe. There is very strong evidence for it being a globe. You can persuade people with your words, that's your power. Embrace it, put it to work. Anybody else thinking this new module in the curriculum is a great idea and should be expanded? Cause teaching kids to critically analyze material they are shown is a thing we need to be doing. In college I was in a class where we were assigned topics to argue. It didn't matter if you believed it or not. You had to argue it like you believed it was true. I had immigration, both legal and illegal, is bad for the United States. I do not believe this, but I researched common arguments and planned my rebuttals. Well, it turns out the pro-immigration person was not as well prepared. I was ready for every argument they threw at me and basically buried the conversation. After class a girl approached me, visibly upset, and asked why I felt that way. Told her I don't actually believe what I was arguing and tried reminding her we were all assigned topics. I hope she believed me. I felt awful even though I did nothing wrong. On the upside, at least their curriculum is adaptive and they changed it to address previous shortfallings. Obviously you must have gotten an A on your persuasive essay since you managed to change the science curriculum. Today I fucked up, wife broke my nose and I deserved it. Standard. This was about 5 years ago. Another important thing to note for this story is I can be a complete bellend sometimes. So my then fiance, now wife, is very easy to frighten. As the oldest of 5 siblings and 13 cousins, it has always been my solemn duty to jump out at people in the dark or around corners that scare the shit out of them. No matter how many times I do this, I find it uncontrollably hilarious, especially if the person gets mad. I obviously carried this on when moving in with S, and she would get mad every time. The madder she got, the more I laughed, and the more I laughed, the madder she got. Anyway, one day, about 5 years ago, my car was in the garage and I'd come home by train, arriving a few minutes before S. As I got in and looked out of the window, she was just pulling up. With my car not being there, there was no way to know I was home. So I hid under the bed. She came in, shouted to see if I was home, and I didn't respond. I waited under the bed for the best part of 20 minutes before she finally came into the bedroom. As she walked past the bed, I reached out and grabbed her ankle while shouting rah-ah-ah. Fair play to her, because she went into fight or flight and very much chose fight. With the reflexes of a cat and the strength of an ox, she span her other leg round and kicked me square in the nose. Even with blood pouring from my face, I was pissing myself laughing and she was fucking furious. Nose was broken and I learned my lesson. I haven't scared her even once since. And for some reason she didn't ditch me for being a bellend. We've been happily married for 3 years now. In fact, as I write this, I'm sat in the maternity ward looking at my beau today. I fucked up a sleeping wife and daughter who we welcomed yesterday. TL/doctor, I hid under the bed to scare my wife and she kicked me in the face. The one and only time I have had a black eye was when I was hiding behind a door and jumped out in front of my mom and she punched me straight in the eye. We both had a good laugh though. I'm glad you grew out of that behavior. It's not a joke or a prank if you're the only one laughing. Your wife has the patience of a saint. Congrats on the new family. What's a bellend? British for dickhead. Your story made me realize if I want my boyfriend to stop jumping out and scaring me, I'm going to have to break his nose. Congrats, mate. Oh, one lucky dude. I know, right? She married a guy with a crooked nose.